Everyone, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. My name is Josh Roach. I am the training specialist here at Partners in Care, and today's video is all about the new tool that we are launching here and through our HMIS, the Outreach module. So we're really excited to share this new exciting tool. We hope you really enjoy the awesome benefits it brings to our outreach team. So you may have seen the icon already, but what we're going to do is jump right in here to our homepage and click on that bento box, aka Launchpad at the top. And you're going to see the icon for Outreach. Okay. And we'll just click this icon. And this is going to bring up the new and improved and super exciting Outreach module. So this is an interactive map that you can use to record and track locations of your clients where they are currently staying as individuals as well as encampments. So we'll get into all the different aspects of that throughout the video today. So the first thing to show you obviously is the map itself and how it looks. You can tell that it is a direct map, just looks exactly like any other map would. We have, of course, in terms of navigation on your screen to the left, you can see the plus and minus button, which gives us the ability to zoom in and out. And of course, you can use your mouse and whatnot to also do the same like you would any other type of map. You also will see above the, zoom in and zoom out button, the home button. This button is registered with your agency address. So if you click on that, it's going to center that address on the screen for you. So I'm set to Waianae Coast. So I am centered right here above their office. So if you're, trying to get a little oriented with the map, you can use that home button and it brings you right back to where your agency address is registered with us, the HMIS team. All right. A little bit more of the left hand of your screen, we do have a ability to change from individuals to a heat map. This is helpful if we're looking at the level or the amount of folks in a specific area. As you can see on your screen, because I clicked that heat map, it shows a colorization on the map to show you that there are individuals or encampments in this area. Okay. So this is just a feature that is like a layer that you can look at. We also have the ability to track your location. This would be if you're out in the field and you just don't know exactly where you're at, you can simply click that and it will bring you to your location. Okay. And the bottom left-hand side, we do have the ability to change from a simple digital map representation to the hybrid or the satellite image. This is really cool and very helpful if you're unfamiliar with the area that you're in. This map is very detailed, so you'll be able to choose exactly where you are, whether it's between two buildings or next to a field. These are maps that are very easy to read and look at, and so it should be helpful if you need to switch between digital or satellite image of your maps. Okay. All right. So the reason that we are launching the outreach module is to give us the ability, our outreach team and our outreach programs, the ability to track and visualize where we are interacting with our clients. This is very, very helpful in terms of managing our clients and our caseloads. What the outreach module does is gives us the ability to see it visually as individuals as well as encampments. So let me just click this back to individuals. There we go. So what you see on the screen here is some example representations. These are things that I created to show you folks what this looks like. And these are representations. These first icons, the little white circles with the people, those are icons of individual people. Okay. And then when you see the signs for with a number on it, these are encampments. Okay. Now it's important to first consider when we're using this tool, what our definition of what our definition is of an encampment. It is important to define that as a agency as well as a COC, so that we agree upon that. There are different definitions that are out there, some by HUD, some by other COCs. So it's an important part of the puzzle to utilize this tool. but I think that's a conversation we can have together as we're growing and as we're using the system. Okay. As you can see, I made a couple of examples. One of the encampments is with one person. One of the encampments is with 6 people. So there are COCs that consider some encampments as a single person, and there are some COCs that do not, that require it to be more than one person. I just wanted to show that we have the ability to do both, and determining that, again, is up to our COC as a whole and should be a conversation we should have as we're moving forward. Okay, so how do we use this crazy awesome tool? Well, I'm here to show you. Ooh, crazy zooming in here. Okay, so what we're going to do is show you kind of the basics. Now, I do want to just kind of wrap back around here as I'm looking at my navigational pieces and show you that most of this stuff should look familiar, right? From our normal home screen. We have our account settings button, we have our messaging button, and we have our bento box, aka Launchpad. Okay, so we're familiar with those icons. To the left of that, we do have the add the individual icon. And then to the left of that, we have client alerts and notes. Okay, so first I want to walk through how we add a client to the module. So to do that, we're simply going to use the add individual icon here at the top right. It opens up a searching icon, and you can search by name, date of birth, that unique identifier, or social security number. So again, we're going to suggest that you use the first 3 letters of the first name and the first 3 letters of the last name. When the client's information or record appears, you'll see their name and date of birth, so you can verify it's the correct client. You're going to be toggling on that client, okay? And then you're going to click the Add Person button at the bottom of the screen. Now, it's going to give you a confirmation page to make sure that this is who you want to add to the screen. So you're going to go ahead and confirm that, yes, this is the client that we want to add. We're now going to select a location on the map where we've interacted with this client. So this is happening in real time. I would be doing this in Outreach. I am currently working with Timothy. So I'm going to click this add location icon to the right of Timothy's name. And then I can go to the map and I can choose on the map wherever we are. Let's say we're over here. Maybe we're by the Taco Bell. Okay. Somewhere over here, y'all. Anyway, we're going to click on the map. Okay. You'll see that the name appears again and an icon has appeared on the map. Now, this would mean that I have completed and added the person to the map as a location icon. But if I was not satisfied with this location, as you can see, I have not clicked the done button yet. So if I was not satisfied, or I feel like it was actually on the other side of this building, I can simply click that location icon once more. It turns the icon red. I can click and drag that icon to the correct location. Now that I've corrected that location and that's exactly what I wanted to do, I can click the done button, and this becomes an official location on the map for this client. Okay. 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 That's how you add an individual to the map. Okay. Okay. Now, as you see, they do appear as an icon. If you wanted to view this client, you can simply click on that icon. And it's going to bring up the profile info. You see there is some information provided about the client. For example, their photo ID will appear here, their unique identifier, date of birth, address, zip code, and then of course the location that we just clicked on. Okay. Now, this is important because you can dive deeper into this. You can obviously click on view. This is going to open up the client profile page. Or you can click on this location icon, and it's going to bring you to the client's location tab to show you exactly what type of location that was. Okay. Or you can click the copy the unique identifier to your clipboard, which just gives you the ability then to go to your regular search bar and paste that unique identifier and pull that client up. Okay. So this is how you would be adding and viewing individual clients to the outreach module. So now going forward, we would also be considering the usage of this for managing encampments. So as you can see on the screen, we do have a couple of encampment examples created. So I first want to walk you through how we create an encampment, and then we will go through and look at viewing and updating and modifying, etc., encampments. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do when we have acknowledged or recognized an encampment, we're going to come into our outreach module, and in the bottom right hand of the screen, we can click this encampment icon. Okay, so encampment category is always going to be default for now. Your encampment status date, I use this as the date that I have physically viewed the encampment, or that I physically saw the encampment or was informed by the encampment. Again, status date is something that we can discuss in terms of what we want that to be meant to be used for. Encampment start date, again, would be the day that I confirmed that the encampment existed, or that I, went to the encampment and engaged with those clients. To move forward from this page, it does have a timestamp. You're welcome to use those. It's not required. But if you want to be as specific as a time, you can do that here. And then to finish entering that date, just simply click outside the calendar, and it brings you back to your Add Encampment page. We would then name the encampment. Okay, so we will call this encampment screening number 4. Okay. And then you have the ability to put in a description. You can use this description for all types of things. You could be as specific as you would like. This is really to help each other when we are interacting with our community and our clients. So specific things can be put in here, such as entrance on side of, etc., street name, right? It could be something along the lines of, please be quiet and aware of neighbors. Okay. It can be more specific, even to the sense of, do not approach without without prior approval. Okay. All right. Now comes the period when we're going to interact with the map. So we click on Add New Boundary. Whenever we're satisfied with all the entries, click on Add New Boundary. Now, there's a couple of different ways that you can add a boundary, okay? So first, the thing that appears here, this is your pop-up window. This is just kind of like your construction box, okay? We have here the Select by Rectangle, okay? And we have Select by Feature, all right? This gives you the ability, this one, Draw by Polygons, gives you the ability to draw different shapes as opposed to the rectangle, which is only going to be squares and rectangles, right? And then you have a back button and a forward button. So if you mess up on the drawing, you can kind of go back and fix it. So we're going to stick with the select feature, and we're also going to choose the polygraph, okay? Because that's going to be easiest. We want to be able to kind of make a weird shape here, okay? So, oh, sorry about that. I did not realize that I was clicking. Sorry about derp and derp and derp. Okay, as you can see, it's very easy to just press the back button and start over. Okay, it's good to show things like this because we're all going to do it. Now, all you have to do is just simply click on the map once. Okay, now when I move my mouse, you see there's a dotted line and the dot that stays where I clicked on the map and a dot that follows me. So I am making the perimeter of the encampment. So I'm going to click here. Okay, notice that dot stays there. Okay. I'm bringing out my dot here. We're going to click it here. And then we're going to go here to the bandstand. Okay. Back over here at Kalakaua Avenue. Now you're starting to see how there's like a shape forming, right? And it's kind of getting a grid, that green grid. So it's telling us as it's green, okay, this is a normal shape. You can make this shape. This shape exists, right? I can go out to this way. This is a real shape. If you make an incorrect or a non-real shape, it turns red. I can't put the dot over here. It's not going to allow me to do that, okay? So I'm going to keep going. I'm just going to click on the same spot that I started at. Okay. And it becomes an encampment. Now, I'm not done yet because this looks good. What I can do though, if I need to, I can click the shape, click the feature selector, and I can, oh, lordy, pumpkin pie. There we go. It'll grab the item, the encampment we just created, right? And I can move it around on the map if I need to. Maybe it was actually here. Okay. And click this check mark that I'm done. All right. So the boundary is in place. My encampment has been named. I don't need to edit the boundary, but if I needed to and I didn't have, oh, it's too close or it's too far or it's not correct, we can edit that. We're going to go ahead and save the encampment. Great. So we created an encampment. What we see at first here is that there is just simply zeros in the encampment. There are no individuals in this encampment. Okay. So when you create an encampment, you have to add the individuals into the encampment for them to exist in that encampment. All right. Because as we see here, we can add them as individuals or we can add them in as the encampment. So let's add individuals into our encampment. We're going to first click on the encampment. Here we can see it's encampment training number 4. It has its own unique identifier. Technically, you can search for this encampment by using this unique identifier on the HMIS, and we'll show you that in a little bit. Inside here, we've got quite a few icons. We have the alerts and notes icon. We have the subscribe icon. We have the encampment profile icon, add individual icon, move individual icon, and add an encampment photo. Okay. So lots of cool stuff that we can do within the encampment. And the encampment feature is pretty robust. So this is really exciting. So first, let's start out by adding individuals to our encampment. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is simply click on the add in person icon. It brings up my search bar. So I'm just going to search for my client. Okay. First 3 letters of the first name, first 3 letters of the last name. I'm going to toggle them on. I'm going to keep searching. We'll see if this works. Perfect. So as you can see at the bottom, it still says add one person. So I can continue to search for other people. So I'm going to add this client here, this refused client. Okay. And this refused client. So we now have 3 people. Okay. And so at the bottom, we have add 3 persons. So click add 3 persons. We can verify all 3 people. Yes, we want to include Timothy and these 2 refused clients. Click the confirmed button at the bottom of the page. All right, so now we have the ability to identify where the clients are actually staying in the encampment. Okay, so the first one, and it just goes in order, but you could just simply click on the location icon to the right of the client. Grab this icon on the map and drag it in the encampment to where this client is staying. And then proceed to the second client and the third client. Okay. If you made a mistake, you can still go back. We can move Timothy again. Oops. We can move Timothy again. Okay. Once you're done and satisfied with locations, click that done button. We now see that the encampment houses 3 individuals. Okay. If I click on the encampment, their names and profile pictures will show up here. Okay. Can move individuals to a different encampment. So perhaps Timothy, we noticed moved. So we can come in here, click the enter the name. It's going to bring up all the encampments listed. It'll bring up that encampment, select the client that you want to move to that encampment. Click move one person, confirm. It's going to give you the ability to put the client in an actual location. So click that location icon, put them in a location, put them in by clicking done. Put them in as now in a different encampment. Okay. And our original encampment now says 2 instead of 3. This one says 2 instead of 1. All right. So we click back on our encampment that we created. The next item we can do is add an encampment photo. This is really, really helpful, especially when our outreach teams are new, just learning the community. We have a sense of familiarity of the area before we actually get there. So click the add image icon. You can drag a photo and drop it, or you can just simply click on here to add a encampment photo and click the word apply. This photo will appear anytime the encampment is clicked on. So I can do now, click on it. It's going to show me the photo of the encampment as well as the clients and the photos of the clients that are in this encampment. Okay. Some additional tools that we have with encampments, we can add alerts and notes. These are going to be really helpful when we are working together and collaborating with multiple encampments. First of all, alerts. If we need to add them, we're going to click the alert add button. Right now, it for some reason always switches back to notes. So just make sure it says alert at the top. You can put in a title. Okay. Alerts are going to be used for things that we need to know in regards to this encampment prior to interacting with them. So perhaps, there might be a lot of pets or several loud dogs, right? So maybe it's something like that that we need to be aware of before we interact with this encampment. So we can put that here, beware dogs, okay? Now, expiration date, it should, you want to be realistic with this. Obviously, you don't want to make it till 2028, right? But, making it something that's realistic, I would say 6-month mark is probably fine. And then put in your notes. Please be aware of the dogs that live here. Okay. And you can also add attachments to this. If you wanted to maybe add a photo of the pet or a photo of the incident, whatever it may be, you can do that there. Click save. This becomes an alert for this encampment. Okay. So anyone that is subscribed to this encampment would get that alert. And anytime anyone comes to visit this encampment, when they click on it, they're going to see a notification that there is an alert. So they need to come here to view this alert. Okay. Please be aware the dogs are friendly, but they are very loud. Okay. All right. We can also add notes. So if you want to track case notes for encampments, all right, this is where we can do that. So this could be a case of case management. This is a service call, and we just want to put in a service note, right, of today's great work that we experienced. So, okay, okay, like provided client with a food pack or working toward getting client doc ready. Okay. Whichever types of service or whatever types of, notes that you want to use to track the work that you are doing. All right. Click save. And again, these notes will be viewable by other agencies interacting with the outreach module. Okay. So if I click on notes, I'll be able to view this. Okay. All right. The next thing I want to show you is subscribing to an encampment. So this is something that you would want to do if you are interacting with this encampment and you plan to continue to interact with this encampment. All right. You want to get notifications if someone else interacts with them, if someone else notices things, puts in an alert, all this kind of stuff. You want to get notifications. So click on that subscribe button. That's all it does. It turns green. You are now subscribed to this encampment. So anytime someone adds a client, anytime someone removes a client, puts in an encampment interaction, all of those kinds of things, alerts and case notes will all give you a notification of those actions. Okay. The last thing, the encampment profile is just going to take you back to that main screen that we used when we created the profile. This is helpful to know about because you can come here to deactivate a encampment. So if for some reason, you come back weeks later or however much time later, and you notice that the encampment is no longer there, you would click that settings icon, scroll down and toggle off the active status here. Okay. It'll ask you for an encampment end date. Click outside the calendar to get rid of that. Okay. And then just save and close. This encampment existed in the past and will appear on the outreach map when the past time is selected. Note the system time and user local time can be different. So this takes us to the next really cool feature, and it's the ability to look at the map through a specific time frame. So as you see up here in the icon, we have a little filter. I'm sorry, in this search bar, we have a little filter icon. So in the filter icon, you can filter what you're actually looking at on the map. Now, we have this first one here, use current date and time. When it's toggled on, it's just going to look at real-time data, what's happening right now, today, in this moment. When you toggle that off, you have the ability to choose a different time period to see what it looks like. So for example, if we choose July 13th and apply, okay, we're going to see that this client is here. Okay, Timothy training is over here, right? Okay, now if I filter it again and I change that, say we look at it today, there it goes. I was like, it's not working. Okay, so now we see Timothy is no longer there. In fact, Timothy, as we saw earlier, is in this encampment now. Okay, so this is really cool. We can actually see in real time as well as the history of clients and where they are interacting and where they are staying and where they are living. So there are multiple filters that you can use beyond the date function. If we continue to use the same filter icon, you'll notice there are other items listed. There is individuals as well as encampments. So we can toggle on individuals, toggle it off or on. So if you don't want to see individuals appear on the map, if you only want to see encampments, or vice versa, if you only want to see individuals and no encampments. So you can kind of customize what you're seeing on the map. In addition to that, we have provided additional map layers. You can see there is a COC layer. So that's going to show you the continuum of cares. Obviously, Oahu is one COC, so it just highlights the entire island. Oops, pardon me. But the one that's really cool that we built and we spent a lot of time putting together is the regions filter. And this is going to show you all of the regions on Oahu. So we just simply toggle that on and click apply. And it shows you the different regions. So you can see what region your individual or encampment is in. You can see the lines of each region. So even if you don't know where you're at, you could use this map to figure out what region you're in. Really, really cool, and definitely something I would highly suggest taking advantage of. We did a lot of work to make that happen, and I just think it's such a great feature. Okay, so I just wanted to also be able to show you how the system is compatible with mobile devices as well. So as you can see, I am actually on my iPhone. So this is completely mobile friendly. I am in the outreach module already. So I signed in on my web browser. I clicked the bento box, aka Launchpad, clicked on the outreach module icon, and it has brought me here. And as you can see, the icons are basically 100% the same. We still have all of the zooming in and out capabilities, the heat map, the location. We can turn this into a hybrid or satellite image of the map if we would like. Okay. So it's all the same features. And all of the icons work the same. At the top, we can see we have the add individual icon. So I can go ahead and look up my client. Okay, just like that. Everything would act as the same. Okay. I also have the ability to view the items that we've been working with today. If I wanted to look at this individual, I can click on their icon. I can click the view button. Okay, it'll take me back to a client profile that we just clicked on. Let's just click on my outreach icon again. Okay, we can also view the encampments. So I can zoom in, I can click, I can see the photos, I can see the clients that are enrolled, I can look at the alerts and notes. I can also add encampments within my mobile device. So we'll select the default encampment. Again, just simply click outside the calendar to get out of the encampment status and start date windows. Okay, we can then add a new boundary. To make this simple, I'm simply going to use a square. Click on the device, whatchamahoonie device mover. You can even angle it differently. See how you do that? You just click on the little circle at the top of the square. When you're done, just click on that green check mark, save. We've created a new encampment on the mobile device. Okay. The process is literally the same to do all of the other things that we did on the desktop. Click on the encampment. You can add clients individually. You can add a photo if you need to. And you can also move the folks around, okay, if you need to do that. Now, doing this on your phone is really cool, right? Because you could actually just use your camera and take a photo while you're standing there of the encampment. So we get an actual visual of what the encampment looks like. Amazing stuff. Okay, so this is how it works all on mobile. Again, super mobile friendly, very easy to use. I'll even make this really crazy, turn it sideways, just so you see it's all completely mobile friendly. Okay, if you need to get back to the HMIS, you can just simply click on your user icon and click on the search clients button, and it brings you back to your homepage. So very, very cool. Absolutely amazing outreach module here. I hope that this has inspired you and given you some ideas of ways that you can utilize this tool for your benefit and to make your job more efficient when it comes to working with your outreach teams. If you have any further questions, comments, or concerns, you can always reach out to us directly, HMIS at partnersincareoahu.org. You're also welcome to check out the Help Center, help.bitfocus.com, where there is lots and lots of information regarding the outreach module. This is, of course, just a brief introduction. And so if you have any feedback, we'd be happy to hear from you. And look forward to making this the most robust outreach module that we can. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time here. Bye-bye now.